I know you, I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you, the look in your eyes is so familiar with me.
The song that was used in the film in Florida, and it was by Sin, and it was used in one of our reviews. I can't remember what review it was. It was an Alistair one where it hit the screen. No, it was Blackbeard's Ghost, that was it. Hi!
By Tchaikovsky. I have it on CD.
Hi!
Hello.
What's up, Maleficent? My Coke exploded on my arm and drenched me, and the poor lady who was sitting beside me.
Mine didn't.
There was much crying, and then she assaulted me with this. Your own logic. Okay, we're watching Edge of Tomorrow, and I wondered why the guy wasn't just using a torch rather than like flares, because I figured the flares would bring like attention and noise. And then Robin was like, no, flares are better. But yet Robin has a torch here rather than flares. So your argument earlier is invalid because you want to use it in real life.
I'm pretty sure they're legally questionable to carry for personal use.
Like that ever bothered you?
True. But this isn't for lighting things up. This is to beat people who try to mug me with.
See, you could light people up with a flare gun. I've seen you.
A flare gun? Jesus Christ, we're getting more illegal as we go.
You see, it's UK gun law. Flare gun illegal now. We saw Maleficent.
We did. It was Maleficent.
Just trying to work out what it's a portmanteau of. Magnificent and Malice, maybe? Maleficer with silent? I don't know. Okay, this is like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland and Oz the Great and Powerful. Basically, it's the sort of thing, you try to turn a thing that's not Lord of the Rings into Lord of the Rings.
I don't think we can compare it to the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland.
It's the same scriptwriter, it's the same style, it's the exact same revisionist type thing.
It's better!
I can compare them, they're the same sort of idea, they're doing it to a fairy tale. Oh, this one is just not entirely shit.
Yes.
It's like Oz the Great and Powerful again as well. Oz the Great and Powerful, admittedly, was...
entirely shit.
It was, but it was also a remake of Army of Darkness.
No, this was quite interesting. They obviously stayed far away from what the Brothers Grimm actually wrote and based it on a different story that you didn't see from the Disney version and changed quite a lot. But I squeed because they have iron-herding fairies. And that's just yay, because it harkens back to Celtic fairy folklore that you should never touch a fairy with iron because iron binds them to this realm, and the worst thing you can do to a fairy is bind them. So iron is poison to fairies. I like little details like that.
I know whenever I was talking about this to Omega, she was irritated that that Maleficent was gonna be like, oh no, Maleficent gets horribly treated by a man, but then turns evil, and she was really irritated because like fairy folk are supposed to just be good or bad. It's like part of their nature. You don't need a human reason for it to happen. And I agree with her.
Oh yeah.
Although, so what they have here is they take a character who, on a narrative sense, is very, very, one note, they're just bad because they're bad, and then they give them the veneer of complexity, but it's a very generic complexity. So it's like, I have reasons for why I'm bad, but these reasons for why I'm bad are incredibly simple and incredibly typical, and it just makes it even more boring than just, I'm bad.
A man who I fell in love with came at me, and he gave me this drink that made me fall asleep, and then he did things to me when I was asleep. This isn't a script by Frank Miller yet.
Yeah, it's not just a case of... Okay, it's not like Oz the Great and Powerful, where it's a case of, oh no, I meet a man, and 2 hours later, I see him kissing someone else, and then I go evil because of that. It's not quite as bad as that.
No, it's not that.
It's, falls in love with him, know each other for many, many years, spoiler, and then he comes through, and in order to become king, he drugs her, and then cuts her wings off. They're crippling her. And betrayal and crippling and, afterlove. That's slightly better, but it's still... A fairy person does not need a reason to be evil. It's part of the nature of fairy folk. They're
mischievous.
Yeah, they're not pleasant by nature according to the myths.
Yeah, they're basically Loki, or what Loki should be.
And they were taking a lot of iconography from the Disney version, which is fine, but why the fuck does Angelina Jolie have human skin? They should have made it as she got angrier, she got like greener, although people would have made Incredible Hulk references. You know?
Or bluer.
Well, she was green in the Disney version.
Yeah, I know, but...
If they'd like made it so that she was green skin whenever she was like doing the curse and stuff, and then like as she was becoming friends with, girl that she was gonna have sex with, off screen, then her green faded.
Raven she had sex with off screen.
Yes, there. Maleficent has a sidekick who's a raven, but then he gets turned into a human, and the human, I swear to you, it's Stephen Moffat.
It's not Stephen Moffat.
It's Stephen Moffat if he was 20 and Irish. It's really distracting. It's just like, this is like watching the weirdest episode of Doctor Who Confidential ever.
The Ravens...
Suddenly your scripts make much more sense.
The Raven made no sense as well, because it was like... the Raven was caught in the net by a man with a dog and being beaten to death, and she was like, turn into a man. And he was like, I'm a man now. And the farmer with the dog was like, fuck, run away. And then he was like, what have you done to my beautiful self, you cunt? What have you done? Turn me into this fucking body here. And she's like, I saved your life. And he's like, well, you're a fucker for it. And she's like, I saved your life. And he's like, oh, shit, script. Yes. Oh, thank you for saving my life. I'm your servant forever, whatever you need.
I think he, at that point, figured she had powers, so he might as well just do what she wants.
Yeah.
But he was irritated that he turned into Stephen Moffat. You know, he's obviously a Doctor Who fan and was like, if you had to choose a human body to be turned into, it would have been Robert Holmes, possibly Terrence Dicks.
It's still not as bad to turn into Russell T Davies.
Depends on the nature of the badness. Russell and Stephen have their shortcomings.
I know, but Russell's a lot less attractive than Stephen.
You're not a chubby chaser.
I like skinny guys.
No, you like barely flying under the radar misogynists.
Ew.
That's what Stephen Moffat is.
Fucking people who believe in gender.
Although weirdly, you'll approve of this. Russell T Davies had Stephen Moffat cut apart where he was going to make Moffat was going to make one of his characters trans of some sort, and then Russell T Davies asked him to cut it out because he thought the audience would find it confusing. That was in Forest of the Dead.
Isn't Russell T Davies as gay as a bottle of chips?
Yeah. He also decided to have a trans character in one of his stories, but he decided to make them the villain. And then in the next episode, this trans character who was an MTF sort of got their mind put into a male body, and they were really, really, really happy and interested in it. It was like, well, this is new. It's like he can't even fucking remember his own continuity from one season back.
Which one of it was whenever who wrote the Tennant transformation into Smith?
That was Moffat.
Because that pissed me off. I'm a girl! Oh no! Oh, it's okay. I'm still a boy.
Oh, he was just like, he was confused, and then he grabbed the Adam's apple. But yeah, Russell T Davies was really good if you were G. He was quite good if you were B. He was not very good if you were L. He was fucking terrible if you were T. Moffat, on the other hand, seems to be confusingly attempts to be okay-ish on T and seems to be really bad about the rest of them. It's like he has to be reminded every so often that queer people exist. Well, Russell T Davies, as a rule, he would always put at least one into a script because he figured population-wise it's going to be likely they're going to be in the script somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, Moffat, being a cis, hetero, white guy, doesn't need to think about things like that. If you look, so that's what...
This is the vlog of Maleficent, where we discussed LGBT issues in Doctor Who.
It's not my fault that the crow was... It's not my fault the crow was Stephen Moffat.
Was it a crow or was it a raven? I can't remember.
They're the same fucking thing.
They're really not. Ravens are very different than crows, but I can't remember in what way.
They're the fucking same.
It's a blackbird.
No, it was a rook.
Okay.
You see, now please, someone in the comments explain the difference between those four birds, because as far as I'm concerned, they're the same fucking thing. Then again, I don't care about birds.
I think that the difference between a crow and a raven is a raven has 3 longer split tail feathers and is much lighter.
Same fucking thing!
Pretty much. Anyway, Maleficent. Do you know what? It's an okay watch. It's. I wouldn't say run out and see it in the cinema. Maybe watch it at some point, but it's not bad.
It's a film where every man is either useless or crap or evil, which is good because I'm really tired of it's feminist in that way, in that, you know, you got all of the main important heroic figures are
Dickheads.
women, which is good because it's usually not the case. Women usually get relegated. In this one, it's the men who get relegated. Now, if you're important, you're a dick or you're crap or you're evil.
Or useless.
Well, that would be the crap one.
No. The prince guy, we don't know enough about him to say he's crap. He's just...
He was
utterly
crap.
useless.
He was like a member of, what do you call it, One Direction crossed with Andrew Garfield playing a fucking block of wood.
Also, either I'm really confused about timing in this movie and the pace, or he was lost in the woods for like a week looking for a castle.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, crap and useless.
Yeah.
And Imelda Staunton played one of the little flying things.
I didn't like them. They pissed me off with their comedy.
Why is every single Fae CGI except for Angelina Jolie?
Why is Angelina Jolie the biggest and most powerful fairy, and this is never explained?
Probably because, you know, it's like human-centric. It's just like, oh, that one most closely resembles a human. They must naturally are a person because the fairies all have an inferiority complex. Did you notice at the end they just arbitrarily decided to join their area with the humans?
Mm-hmm.
For no reason at all. It's just like, you know, oh, so we had freedom and we didn't need a leader, la la la, and then suddenly, oh, we're all going to be subjects of the crown now. Nah. It's because they fucking think humans are awesome and they hate themselves. Fairy folk, deal with it. Get over yourselves. Stop being self-hating. Have it like a pride march.
And seriously, come to my bedroom. I want a conversation of some kind.
You want to succubus off an incubus.
That was a difficult sentence to say.
I know. Okay, what else?
The plot was entirely predictable the entire way through. From the moment the prince was introduced, it was like, yeah, he's not going to be the true love's kiss. Blah, 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 blah.
Because, you know, he was even less interesting than Prince Charming in the Disney version, the old animated one.
You mean Prince Charming who got 30 seconds of springtime?
That's an achievement!
He walked in and kissed her and it's like, I am the good.
Yeah.
I do like this new Disney thing. It seems to be a thing in Frozen and in this as well. It's like, true love's kiss. Yeah, you've known that guy 2 days. He's not your true love. You don't know him enough to declare whether or not you're in love with him.
Maybe.
It looks like it's the beginning of a movement away from the old Disney where it's like, you saw this stranger across the room. He is your one true love. Because fuck that.
The fairy people in this have, like, Balrog ants. They have, like, ants shaped like Balrogs.
Yeah.
It's like, let's take two disparate Lord of the Rings things and make them one. That'll be metal. Iron.
No, it was wood.
Yeah.
The Ents were the border guards as well. And they're never seen guarding the border.
It's like, you know, like they appear when they're necessary. I suppose that's why they wrote them as, you know, coming out of the ground out of nowhere. At one point, there was a fucking graboid from Tremors made out of a fucking tree.
Yes.
You're like, rah, rah. I want to hear a guy, what the hell is that? What the hell is going on?
Just, what the hell? What the hell's going on?
I want someone to take that footage and edit it with Tremors. Okay, Charlton Copley's in this, and I've decided that he is basically 1990s Johnny Depp. A really skilled chameleon-icky type actor taking a bunch of really disparate and interesting roles. You know, give him about 5 years, he'll, you know, degenerate into someone who is not really an actor, but someone desperately looking for a sketch show. But not yet. So, Charlton Copley. And I really wish I'd saved this for the car, because their reaction whenever I pointed out who Charlton Copley was in the earlier films that we've done vlogs for. Let's just try to dramatically reenact this, okay? Now, here's me from back then. Aha, I am amazing! Now, Do you remember who Charlotte Copley was in films that we previously saw, for he was playing the Scottish King today?
Excuse me while I beat off these 100 different people who are trying to have sex with me. No, I didn't notice. Who was he in previous films?
Well, one of them was the very, 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 very fey and Johnny Deppish villain in Spike Lee's remake of Oldboy.
Oh my God, so he was.
Yes.
He had a very different accent in that film.
Yes, he was like, "Hello, my name is Charlotte Copley. I'm evil." He was really Michael Sheening it up. And in this, well, he was the Scottish King, and I talked about that. But previously, before that, he was the crazy South African in Elysium.
The man who lost his face?
Yes.
Oh, he had a very different accent in that too.
Yes, and he took a bunch of steroids or something.
Ah. Seriously, his accent in this was not Scottish.
No, I was fine with it. It was Scottish. It wasn't the most comedically terrible Scottish accent I've ever heard.
It was just, it's like,
The thing is weird. You had almost everyone in this kingdom was doing Scottish accents, except for the Crow, because he was Stephen Moffat. They had to throw you off the scent that he was Stephen Moffat, so they made him Irish.
Yeah, like Cork Irish, like hello dear.
And then you've got, like, you've even got, okay, because it's a multiracial kingdom, and that's cool. And you have, the black guys are all Scottish too, which is like, fair enough, you're going for a unified country accent. Then you have a couple of random Spanish people. And it's like, you couldn't have even asked them to do a fake Scottish accent. Everyone else is fucking Scottish.
Did you notice as well that the black family in the big crowd scene where everybody's coming to present the gifts to the kids disappeared when Maleficent entered?
Did they?
There was like a black family in the front row, a mum and dad, like 3 kids. Maleficent walks in, they're just not there anymore.
Oh dear. I didn't
Not
notice
that I just
noticed the black soldier, and there was another one as well.
Yeah, it's a very inclusive kingdom. Let's just say that. So, Maleficent gets pissed off. Oh, and the second she made the curse, you could tell that she was going to try to lift it later and fail. But Maleficent gets pissed off at the evil Scottish man who's cut off her wings to become king after he's king, and he's like, "Ew, you're having a daughter. Well, I curse her. She'll fall into a death-like sleep forever," which is basically the
He's
same
like, "Oh,
thing.
I beg you, if you do my." I'm going to be in training for another role with a different accent. Maleficent, I need to train for 16 years, while my daughter is away, to put on a flawless Brazilian accent or something, because I'm Charlotte Copley, and one thing I am never allowed to do, except for in the movies of, what do you call them, we did District 9, only then am I allowed to use my actual accent, unless I'm supposedly in the A-team or something.
Where's he from?
South Africa.
Did not use his real accent in Elysium then?
That was the same director as District 9.
Oh yeah.
He used his actual accent in the A-Team when he played Murdoch.
In his next film, he's gonna be from Texas.
Probably.
And it'll sound just like that.
Yeah, Copley, he's an amazing. He was an amazing discovery for District 9. He was the boss of the director in this company, and then he got a small role in this guy's short film, and then he managed to turn the short film into the feature film with a low budget, and he was just like, "Hey, Charlotte, my boss, and formerly my boss, and currently my friend, do you want to play the lead?" And he's like, "Ooh, I get to act properly. I'm just a Charlotte Copley guy." And he acts. He's not an actor. He just does it, and then for his friend, and then suddenly he's like in Hollywood and everything. It's just like, good work.
You're moderately attractive and not shit. Give him $1 million.
He's a really good actor, though. He's really good at, disguising himself.
Yeah.
Long may he continue, but it's like one of those random Vinnie Jones type things. It's just this guy who wasn't an actor by accident became one, but unlike Vinnie Jones, he can actually act.
Yeah. He's interesting as well because he's a very distinctive face, but I can't tell between films that it's the same actor.
You have to rely on me.
I do. I'm shit at actors. But, what was I going to say? Yes, she curses the baby that it's going to fall asleep when on its 16th birthday she'll prick her finger on a sewing machine. No.
Finger her prick on a 16th birthday.
Hey, hey.
That's a Mormon version of Sleeping Beauty.
Allegedly. So on her 16th birthday she'll prick her finger on a sewing wheel and...
Spinning wheel. It's not a sewing wheel, it's a spinning wheel.
I don't know how yarn is made.
You spin it, you're spinning it, they're not
I know.
Continue to talk and make fun of yourself.
I'm shit. But, yeah. so she curses her, it's like, it's going to be forever. And the king's like, I beg you no. Ooh, I like it when you beg. Get on your knees and do it again. He's like, in front of everybody. And she's like, yes. Why is my Scottish accent suddenly Christopher Lambert? But anyway, he gets on his knees.
Not even a consistently bad Scottish accent like mine.
Yeah. He gets on his knees like, I beg you. And she's like, fine. Then the curse will be broken when she gets true love's kiss. Like you promised me you were giving me on your 16th birthday, then you married that skank who's hardly in the film, you wanker.
Yeah, she's in, like, the mother's in, like, one scene, and in brilliant traditional Disney style, she, like, dies off screen and is never heard of again.
It's like, Sigh, your wife. The doctor says she's dying. Fuck off, I'm talking to my cabinet.
Yeah, she was crazy. And allegedly, the mother looked a lot like the daughter, so it could have been the same person playing both of them, but frankly, the mother was so fucking forgettable that I forgot what she looked like by the time Grown Up Sleeping Beauty turned up. They had similar colour hair, I remember.
The mother's one line in it is, she had two lines actually, but the one that is actually memorable, it's like, Maleficent just crashes the christening party, it's like, I didn't get an invitation. The mother's like, were you offended? It's just like, what? Why are you even asking that? Of course she's offended. She fucking showed up and blew the place apart.
Well, that might have been a traditional fairy, welcome. You notice the three ones, not long ago our humans had tried to kill their entire species, but these three ones are joining up with the humans. So, the humans were doing an act of war on them, and these ones are basically like a bunch of kislings. In the film, they're like, oh, they were after peace and stuff. No, you weren't. You were collaborating.
Yeah, as well as that, they are fucking not responsible enough to raise a baby.
Plus, the current king of the humans crippled your head defender person.
Yeah, the head of your defense. She was the defender of the Moors.
She was literally the general in charge of the forest people's things, and there they are consorting with them and bestowing presents on stuff. And it's like, honestly, I really think the forest people should have executed those ones at some point. Yeah. Afterwards.
The presents bring up some difficulties as well, in my opinion, because the fairies give her magical gifts. One of them is that she will always be beautiful. Another one is that everybody she meets will like her. And if you have that gift that everybody you meet will instantly like you, can you ever truly have a friend?
The third gift never took, because she didn't finish saying it.
Yeah.
What was the third gift in the original film?
I can't remember.
I will give you enormous genitals. And that's, because the green one can't actually tell it between a girl and a boy.
No, those fucking fairies were really annoying because imagine three of Jar Jar Binks, but who actually speaks English, trying to raise a kid. That's it. And they let her walk off cliffs, and they don't fucking know how to feed a kid. They just like, the baby's crying, it's hungry, hands her a bunch of carrots.
These were developmentally disabled fairies.
I'm all for background checks, and I'm all for, I don't mind if somebody's not going to do a background check, but for fuck's sake, that one thing you want to ask the person you're trusting to raise your kid is, do you know how to raise a kid?
Well, apart from that, it's like, between the three of you, do you have an IQ higher than 85?
No.
Not a good plan.
It's raining, so you'll probably hear that.
Oh, based on the little thing in the corner there, they definitely hear that.
But, yeah, these irresponsible people, and Maleficent's like, I'm going to send my pet raven in to feed the baby. Fuck off with accents, me.
It was a crow.
It was a blackbird.
It was a rook.
It was a painted eagle.
That's not a real thing.
It is a painted eagle.
An eagle's bigger than that.
Fine, it was a red-tailed hawk that had its tail missing.
It's not red. Well, the hawk's bigger than that. You just run out of words for blackbirds.
It's a kestrel that's been painted.
You just run out of words for blackbirds. I win.
But Maleficent's like, I'm going to magically save this baby who I've cursed. I hate you, beastie. And it's like, you're my fairy godmother. No! But yes.
Yeah, the character's very confused. It's like they're attempting to be a supervillain, but they're not really.
They don't have their heart's not in it. Yeah, if you get pissed off at somebody, don't curse their kids. Curse them. I think is the moral of the story. Also, some random wanker who was lost in the woods can't be your true love if you've only spoken to him for 30 seconds.
Also, dropped Charlotte Copley out of a window.
Yeah, he should have splattered.
You notice in the shot above, whenever Maleficent was standing over his body, his head was like half a foot above his body, as though his head had been torn off by the impact. But clearly it wasn't. It was like a fuck up in the special effect or whatever they were using there. It was a bit. It reminded me of the Dick Jones's extended arms in RoboCop when he was falling out the window. Watch that bit. Once he gets shot, his arms are like 3 times the length of his body, and it was like that but with his head.
Yeah,
It's the stretchy head things from Bosco.
Also, I don't know if I like or dislike the makeup department in this movie, because the effects on Angelina Jolie's face and ears were really good, and some of the other stuff was really good. But fucking Aurora had bleached blonde hair and black eyebrows.
Disney. Fairy tale movies doing this sort of shit always do things like that. I'm fairly sure they did that in Mirror Mirror and other ones.
Yeah.
It's just like...
And also Angelina Jolie...
Well, it wasn't Mirror Mirror, it was another one.
And Maleficent's lipstick was just not consistent throughout the film.
Daenerys Targaryen, she has blonde hair with black eyebrows.
Yes, that's true. That pisses me off as well.
It's like... Yeah, it's like they don't want people to actually believe that it's their actual colour of hair.
You know, that or the actresses just aren't paid enough to dye their eyebrows.
So you fucking wusses.
But there's a lot of holes in this film. Basically, the fairy realm just looks like...
We're in CGI land, and it's wonderful.
It looks like a realm out of World of Warcraft.
Not so much that. It's honestly, it's like the little CGI monsters that George Lucas put into his little things that are like making noises, going around just for little sight gags and stuff. An entire world full of just them.
Yeah, and there's this species that spend all their time throwing handfuls of mud at each other. And one of the I don't want to use that word, one of the stupid little CGI pieces of shit elephant creatures with throats decides that his career path in life is going to be to throw mud at this person they're all deathly terrified of.
And there was another one who tried to give Aurora flowers for some reason. I think he wants to have sex with her.
Everybody wanted to have sex with Aurora. That was their gift.
I'm just curious about how one has sex with CGI. It has to be in post-production. Your sex does not happen until after the climax.
Well, they could use a green-coloured dildo.
This is true.
Honest. Just have the special effects man holding it by a broom handle far away.
What kind of just being practical? Their practical effects were quite good, but they're like, oh no, we prefer to have CGI. CGI is easier to film. No.
CGI means the cameraman can go home early.
Fucking CGI.
Don't you know, cameramen are expensive.
Fucking CGI. I realize this could be a generational thing. You know, you're old enough, barely, to have seen the pre-CGI films where they would do things practically all the fucking time.
Yes.
And while they were not perfect,
it looks better.
It does. Well, I'm not sure if it actually objectively looks better, or if it's just that that's what we're used to, and we connect that with looking good. It will be really interesting in about 60 years when we see people who are exclusively fed on CGI getting to see those films and seeing what they think, because they might actually think it looks so comical.
I don't know. I don't think anybody who's grown up in CGI will ever look at bullet squibs and enjoy them as much as I do.
Yeah, you take what you're used to. It's like whenever people saw The Hobbit in 48 frames for the first time, it looks off, it looks weird, because it looks like reality, which we're not used to films looking like. So someone raised on CGI is going to see practical effects and feel it looks wrong, it looks off. And they're not going to really work out why, but it will not look good to them. While to us, CGI does not look good. Practical does. And I don't know, I don't think we're any objectively better, but from personal thing, I want fucking practical back.
My biggest problem with some of the CGI in this film is Uncanny Valley stuff, especially with the 3 tiny fairy people.
They just look like little dolls, mocap to look a little bit like Imelda Staunton.
Yeah, but Uncanny Valley hurts. It was really funny as well. After Maleficent bent down and was like, I'll not ask your forgiveness. What I have done to you is unforgivable, Aurora. You lie there sleeping while I fondle you. Something really creepy about that. But
I told you Maleficent had sex with her off-screen.
I just want you to know, no harm will ever come to you while I am alive. But I will always miss your smile. And then kissed her on the forehead. And one of the kids behind us just went, she's gonna wake up now.
She said, lesbian.
4 minutes.
Yes. Not much else to see, really. Although, before Edge of Tomorrow, we saw a trailer for, which we're dubbing Cancer Twilight.
Yep. Cancer Twilight.
You got this girl with cancer, and this guy, just stalks her obsessively until she breaks down and actually, goes out with him. It's, I don't know, it could also be nice guy meets girl with cancer.
Yeah.
He has no idea about boundaries, and he's like, no matter what you do to push me away, I will always be there. And it's like, you're really?
It's
Let her
because...
die in peace, you prick.
Because everybody wants to make the Notebook again.
Everyone wants to be all like, wants to come up with it, wants to believe this myth that if a man just constantly bothers a woman, then they're going to go out with him. And it's fucking offensive.
It is. It's offensive the other way around, but this is the common iteration of it.
Yeah, it is. But this is what I'm complaining about right now, because this film is just coming out, and this is being presented as the most romantic thing ever, and it's like, fuck yourself.
It's as creepy in the
Proto-stalker.
It's as creepy in the other film we saw, because it's just, I know everything about you, but in your timeline you've never met me, but I'm going to dog after you. It's the same kind of idea. You just harass somebody into liking you.
Yeah. And it's want rid of it badly. It's a common trope, but lots of common tropes have been deliberately removed because we worked out how fucked they were.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the other thing is, in Maleficent, the prince is like, I don't want to kiss her, she's asleep, that's kind of creepy. And the fairies are like, kiss her, kiss her, kiss her, and he's like, fine. So, props. Anything else?
There were not enough props, it was all CG fucking eye.
Yeah, her stick was CGI at one point.
This wasn't as bad as The Hobbit, where they had like a piece of cloth with CGI. So, Peter Jackson, you've been replaced by evil Peter Jackson, your evil twin with a goatee.
My good twin has a goatee.
Only because they went down in someone while they had super glue in their face.
Bye!